Alrighty guys, here we go. We're gonna make our way on in. First thing I want to show you real quick, real easy, dedicated disconnect here, and then for 12 volt setup, and then you have your power awning switch on a rocker here. Your step switch is here, light and turns that step off so it's not coming in and out every time when you're docked at your campsite. It's not coming in and out every time you open that door. Right here is some of your lights. Right when you walk in, makes it nice. Cup holder, right when you walk in. I'm going to point out all these cup holders in here. It's just pretty impressive, but they're everywhere. Let me give you a quick look right when you walk in. Okay, and I'll start talking about some of the goodies in here. So, one of the first things I like to talk about with this Thor motor coach is the way that they design their front end. Tough to see with the shade right now, but I'm going to run that up so you get an idea. You have a nice little pitch where it drops down, and I'm going to show you from an angle. That should be enough. So when you look, that's got a nice little pitch here. Other manufacturers run straight out. It makes it really tough to know where that nose ends and begins. So just one little thing, but I love to point that out. You've got all the controls you would need here on the steering wheel, the new steering wheel. So if you see this style steering wheel, you know it has that new 7.3 liter motor. So that 6-speed transmission with a second overdrive gear. This is a nice little power plant. You should be able to, see you've got an 80-gallon tank. You should be able to get on a great trip 700 to 800 miles out of this unit if you're babying it. As far as fuel economy goes, that's dependent upon whether or not you're towing the big trailer or not, and you guys probably know that. But yeah, so with that said, you do have tons of storage up top. You do have a laptop station up front right here. That just pulls out. I want to demo that real quick. Real simple. It's got charging ports right when you sit down. You can plug in USB A and C and 12 volt over here. You've got speakers down low. Want to point out one of the good things about I want to point out one of the good things they do in terms of insulation. So they actually have this additional we call ozite, or like carpet, thick carpet. That's just an additional, it looks good, and it's an additional layer of sound deadening and insulation. Behind that, what you don't see, and a lot of manufacturers aren't doing, is they're going, so you have a firewall, and then you'll have your astrofoil. So you have an astrofoil, which, I'm sorry, there's, it's almost like a thick rubberized wetsuit material that they're putting between major weld points and as a sound deadener up front. So a neoprene isolator. And of course, after that, then you'll have your astrofoil. So the astrofoil just kind of has pockets and of course reflective capability to be able to reflect the heat that would come off of the engine compartment. And then of course you've got the ozite lining as well over the wood. Wood is an amazing insulator, also great for sound deadening. So I point all this stuff out again. You can't see that stuff, but it makes a difference. It's a lot quieter in the cab of this unit than a lot of the competition. So just got to point that stuff out. You look here, you've got some nice bolsters here. Very comfortable seats. Both of these seats at the front will swivel and face the rear of the coach. It's pretty simple to do. And then of course you're all, when everybody's in the coach, you guys are all able to kind of communicate and have fun and conversate, especially on a day like today. Looking up top, that's a 500-pound capacity on our overhead bed. It's the best capacity in the business on a motorized bed, and that will sleep 2 full-grown adults, no problem. When it is in transit, there is a cotter pin here that helps lock it away once it's all the way up. But because of the track system that they use, you don't have to worry about that coming down on its own. So a couple safety measures there. As I promised, I'm going to point out all the goodies, the cup holders. Gotta love that. I think there's 3. The one at the entry makes 4. That makes 7. We do have 2 in the table. And I do have a warranty item, guys. And we had we had a customer didn't know how to operate this. They put all their weight, so a couple screws came out. We are gonna fix that. I definitely want to show you that because it's important that we we take care of that and remain up front. There is something to be said about Thor, and I can't show you the MSRP sheet there, but I want to talk a little bit about it. They have almost 100% standard features on their product, and I'll tell you why that's important. This one here actually has 100% standard features, and the nice thing about it, the optional equipment, when you buy a motorhome, doesn't carry resale value. So you could have $15,000 easily on some of these motorhomes in terms of options. And when you bring it back to trade or sell, NADA, like the Kelly Blue for motorhomes, they don't calculate the optional equipment. So nice to know that you do have a better resale advantage because it is all standard. Looking at the cabinetry, you got the white upper and the tan lower. And I apologize, I don't have the name off the top of my head. They change them every other year. But you do have the light uppers and dark lowers. It's a great looking combination. Kind of a timeless look. And here's your first AC and big TV. Big overhead storage up top. Push button lighting on either end. And then, yeah, to show you up here, you got great storage. Another one up over the entryway. Down here, I want to point out you do have the charge controller as well. So nice thing about that, it's already, as I mentioned, has the solar ready to go. And when looking at the sink, here you are. Nice big sink, crock pots, casserole dishes, all that kind of fun stuff. And nice thing about it is when you're drying your dishes, you don't have to have a separate deal out here on your countertops taking up space. You just put them right over the top there, let them dry. Nice glass backsplash, kind of doubles as a cover and a backsplash here. 3-burner cooktop, two 5,000 BTU burners, and an 8,000 BTU burner up front. These are not the largest oven, but you could definitely do a small bird in there. Of course, with Thanksgiving coming up, it's not going to be a 20-pounder, but you can definitely get the job done with the oven. So nice to have a 12-volt fridge in here as well, especially paired with that solar setup. It's going to run off your batteries, guys. You don't have to have an inverter setup or plugged into 110 shore power. This is nice. I want to point out this before I forget. I always somehow pass this up. You have hidden storage behind the TV in the bedroom. There you got all that. And there you can put your gaming consoles and, you know, anything, Blu-ray, all that stuff. Hides back there easily. And there's the pre-wired connection right in there for all of that. And then down here, more USB and 110 outlets. Of course, you've got the rear AC adjustability here, thermostat. And there's that second AC. If you ever make the warmer climates, that's going to come in really handy on a coach this size. King size bed in here. Kind of a big deal for what we would consider a shorter class A. Not the shortest, but definitely not the longest. And it's nice to see that big full-size king bed in here. Lots of storage, just pointed it out. Hanging wardrobe up top if you'd like. And tons of space up here. Big old wardrobe back here. Point all that out. Got plenty of lighting in here as well. There's your ladder, telescopic ladder for the front overhead bunk bed. Egress window in the rear. You can see, got a lot of Thors out there. But I'm going to make the way into the restroom. I don't want to forget that. It's really important. They've got, let's turn that fan off for now. The tankless hot water heater control modules right here. Up top's a lot of storage. Storage over here, storage down low, and then good position for the commode. So a lot of times, you know, it's hard to make everything work. I think they did it just right. It's not a massive bathroom, but you have plenty of space to even change in here if you wanted to. For guests or for privacy, if you guys are in a rush and stuff like that. Here you have good size shower with the pull out sprayer. And I'm losing battery power quick, guys. I'm going to wrap this up pretty quickly and get you guys some pictures. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you soon.